Glad to be with you. It's been a while. Now, I know there are a lot of questions, and obviously, been the rumor mill circulating, which we'll probably get to later in the show. But there are some important questions regarding the future of MugClub since we've done the press conference. Alex Jones, Hodge Twins, new people here. And I think one of the most important one, and if you're watching on YouTube right now, I would encourage you to go watch on Rumble for reasons that will be glaringly apparent in approximately 20 seconds, is, hey, we see that YouTube has cracked down on some things. They seem to be getting more strict going into election time. And some of you have been worried, or at least asking us if we'll be pulling back. To that, I answer with this.
Sudden death among healthy working-age people worldwide is skyrocketing.
She died here at the hospital after she went into cardiac arrest.
Who knows? Young people are dying these days.
These are not statistics. These are human beings. Because I represent science.
To share the data with this committee.
We had to really move at the speed of science.
Remember, none of this is possible without you. Join the fight and sign up for MugClub today at louderwithkreider.com/MugClub. Gain access to an unrivaled catalog of unapologetic and entertaining creators, including the Hodge Twins, Nick DiPaolo, Brian Callen, and of course, Alex Jones. All that and everything you see today is entirely funded by viewers like you. For $89 annually, join the fight at louderwithkreider.com/MugClub today. Well, that's nice. We're back. That's nice to be back with you. There's so much to get to. A lot of developments, and if you are not watching on Rumble right now, please go do so, because the next thing you might see might be the Redskin going beep.
This channel no longer exists.
Yeah. It really shouldn't be. Comment below. You really think that's a reason? What happened to satire parody? But hey, that's not really something you see out there. So we're going to be getting to a lot here today. There's a TikTok, I don't know, this TikTok psyop that's been going out there trying to destroy marriage here in the United States. Seen this, the lady put her hand through the ring.
It's like Lord of the Rings?
And then 7 days later, she's miserable and single. We have a This Week in Biden. We have an exclusive from the new MugClub undercover unit, the Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and what they've been doing, targeting your... Well, yeah, kids. Yeah, targeting kids. I think transgender operations for kids, and they've just were rated the best hospital or children's hospital here in the United States. The reason for that, we have a circulated email exclusive because our eyes and ears are everywhere. And then we have Alex Jones guesting. But first, second in command, CEO, Mr. Gerald Morgan. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. I wanted to get back on the air, and it felt like a football game for me today. I wanted to run through a wall, not like Alex Jones, where he split his chin open. But like how are you? I'm sorry, I'm excited.
Good. I got a lot to get to.
Yeah.
We have a lot to get to.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. All right. And then
what are you talking to me for?
In third chair, do we have theme music? Because I don't know if it's which one we're going.
There it is.
Here we go.
Slide that in. All right.
I wouldn't say that.
Those of you who don't want your Pops Crowder all up in your videos, you got Pops Crowder in third chair. And then you have in fourth chair today, we have two people. You know them. You love them. You can go see him at the Funny Bone in Richmond, Virginia this Friday, Saturday, August 18th and 19th. Follow him at Josh_Firestine. Josh Firestine, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Wait, hold on a second. Your mic's not on.
It's not on.
There
it is. I got mic.
This is a wonderful start.
Nice. Yeah. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. You're going to get a neck workout today because you have to go back and forth.
Yeah, I love it. I keep going back and forth. I'm playing footsie with your dad right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Because his
man,
foot
though.
is up on his knee.
You said two men. Two guys.
Yeah, he did say two guys in fourth chair.
Yeah, in fourth chair.
Well, third and fourth. All right. So
fair.
we have a lot to get to. And you know what? Just off the top here, let's there have been, since we've been gone, there have been the rumor mill's been circulating. I know a lot of you have been asking me questions. So I'm going to try and address this, I guess, as tactfully as we can. And Gerald, you can just say, shut up. But there have been a lot of stories. It has been brought to my attention that there have been some stories out there circulating, some old, some new, regarding divorce that's been going on. Obviously, I've been going through for a very long time. We have not discussed this, and I want to be very clear. This is under confidentiality from the court, from the judge, and I will honor that, so I won't be discussing that. And I would caution anyone, by the way, on either side, any side, whether you think you're helping me or someone else, just from drawing conclusions on what would necessarily be incomplete information because of the situation. Now, as it relates to some other rumors, in hit pieces, unrelated to divorce. So, like a recent hit piece, this is something that, I need to address, that I have ever committed adultery. And I say unrelated to the divorce because the media smear campaign is of an accusation that has never even been alleged, to be clear, in any divorce proceedings, nor allegations of any kind of physical abuse ever. All right? This is a complete falsehood out there in the media from people who are looking to do reputational damage, and we know who's behind it. I want to be very clear about this. I have absolutely and unashamedly, respectfully, courted several women well since I was served divorce papers, and have been going through a separation and divorce for well over 2 years, depending on how you calculate it. And each of these, the reason I need to address this is because each of these women are incredible. They've all been incredible, conservative, God-fearing women to the letter, have done nothing wrong. These were not one-night stands. These were meaningful relationships with each woman who is well aware of my situation well after served divorce papers, who do not deserve to have their reputations besmirched, who helped me through what has been the darkest, most difficult period of my life, and I have a fondness in my heart for everyone involved. And by the way, the woman would make fantastic wives, mothers for whoever ends up being their husband someday who finds themselves in far more reasonable circumstances. And I want to be clear about this too. Now, look, I understand that some people out there think you should never date anybody, court anybody until divorce is finalized. In the case of Gerald has a friend.
I won't say who, but I know somebody who went on for 10 years.
There's currently in
There's
Texas
a current
divorces
case
going on
in
for
Texas.
8 years. You know, this is well over 2 years, and it could go on forever. I understand that some people have that point of view. I do not. And I think it's important to find something real. It's something that I still believe, something that I want, by the way. This is also why, especially looking for something real, we are now going to announce the Win a Date with Steven Crowder sweepstakes.
Put me in charge, baby. It'll be a Tess Holiday lookalike contest.
So send your resume, and by the way, of course, no pornography. Though tasteful erotica is tolerated.
Lizzo's not busy.
To date Steven at louderwithcrowder.com. That's date Steven at louderwithcrowder.com. Again, looking for something real, meaningful relationship. As long as you have a BMI that's between anorexic and morbidly obese, between the ages of 26 and 38 years old, if you're okay with a man who's pretty boring outside of work, my only hobbies really include family, food, film, and reading. I like the beach, but not long walks on them. But I make up for this by being tall. So send your resume and your pictures at date Steven Crowder at louderwithcrowder.com for the Win a Date with Steven Crowder sweepstakes.
You look so young there.
I know. Well, look, I have to put my best foot forward.
Yeah.
And I will say this, though, and there have been other hit pieces and smear campaigns. And the only reason I have to address it is because, again, you hate seeing people drawn into something who have done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I have been humbled, and I do have a lot to apologize for. Look, let me be really clear here. I was wrong about a lot to men out there who have been going through divorces, and we've had these questions come in at Life Advice. I understand. Look, I hear you now. There's not just a problem of pervasive feminism, to be clear, but the failure of the church. We were talking with a pastor recently who was on the show who had an assistant pastor who at this church was forced to step down because someone left him while they were cheating on him because he was ashamed of being a man who had been divorced. And I was made very aware of the fact that, look, there are a lot of women out there, and I hear you, I see you, who also aren't on board with this. It's not just a woman-hating club where a lot of people are tarred and feathered, the men's rights people out there, the advocates when they're talking about custody laws. I understand where they're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. I see you. And if you expect me to change my tune on marriage, right, this is something that, speaking to marriage in general, I want to be really clear. This has been unbelievably painful. And again, there's just necessarily incomplete information out there. As it relates to marriage, I get that there are some people out there who become bitter, who become anti-marriage, and I see that in the men's rights groups out there. Let me be really clear about something. My opinions haven't changed. I believe that a child needs a mother and a father in their house, ideally to raise them. That's incredibly important. I believe that marriage is the bedrock of society. It's the foundation of American society. Before state governance, before federal governance, you need self-governance, and that comes with a strong nuclear family. I still believe that, and I believe that we need to fight to preserve that in this country. Now, with all that being said, I may never get married again. What do you do with people like me? And I know that there are a lot of men out there who love women who are scared. And I am so genuinely so sorry. If I was ever dismissive, I hear you. I was wrong. Comment below what experiences that you have been through, because you'll probably find other people. You are not alone. And you have someone who will be an advocate as it relates to strengthening families going forward in this country. specifically as it relates to laws and people who have had to go through this system for years. You do not need to be ashamed. We often say, hey, you shouldn't be shamed publicly. You should not be shamed because something didn't work out in a choice that wasn't yours. So I apologize, really do. And if we ever get another question on life advice from a young man who is successful, who saved up some money and wants to try his hand at love, but he's concerned about being fleeced, you're never going to hear me be dismissive or spout talking points that I think are culturally sort of ingrained in the church that aren't necessarily biblical. So apologies. As to some other rumors that have been circulating, again, it's been not one hit piece after. Let's just get it off. Rip off the Band-Aid. Which, by the way, I think I left one in Texoma there this weekend because I saw a water snake, and I ran and scripted and I put it on a rock. They poked a little head out. That scares the hell out of me.
I thought you were going to say you ran so fast the Band-Aid came off.
Well, I did. On a rock. And then I need another Band-Aid. As to other rumors out there, yes, the Gerald NDA at the company, of course. Yes to it being reinforced in the company when you've had former employees and people in our lives being paid for leaks. And, of course, a confidentiality order, like I've said, that I will honor in the court. We have strengthened it. Yes, all of that is true.
Can I at least address some of this stuff, finally?
Well,
I mean, we've had kind of the muzzle on, but we've been taking hit after hit.
I just don't want the whole show to be about this.
No. We won't do it on the show. I'll do it on Twitter. Go to my Twitter account right now. I'm not going to address every crazy person with an egg, but I'm going to address some of these issues that you guys have asked for. Trust me.
Right now?
Not right now.
You can do it on your Twitter.
On my Twitter.
Do it on your Twitter. Look, it's one of those things where we don't deal. When have you ever heard me talk about specifically former employees or what goes on behind it? No, that's not what we do here. Unfortunately, we're just not going to sit there and take it and take the arrows in our back anymore. You can talk about it. I don't want the show to be about that. Go and follow Gerald. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys can like, comment below, share this as we move on with the actual content of the show.
Is it too much as a grandfather to not want my grandkids sleep to be doxxed out there? Is that okay? Is that information we can control?
I think it's fair to not.
Probably
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
That was unreasonable, maybe.
Yeah, especially when
kind of what people are thinking.
The call's coming from inside the house.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
unbelievable.
No, I do. And thank you, Pops Crowder. A big reason you've been put through this, too, for a couple of years. And look, it's one of those things that the court says to keep it private, and I have a lot of respect for the court and the judge, so I'm not going to be addressing that. But I also see where everyone else is coming from. Now, before we move on, I hate that we do this, but we've done it for years. So it's one of those things, since we were gone, a lot of news happened. We have to recap. I just don't like. We're stuck on this. We still have to do it. We still have to do it?
Yes.
Ukraine got a lot of bucks. Mike Pence seems to give no fucks. California reparations, San Fran public urinations. Bud Light is still a flop, just like that Mulvaney. Indiana Jones sucks, so thank God for the writer's strike. World War III is on the way. Elon says that Zucker's gay. Gavin Newsom defunds cops, forcing kids to booster shots. Lindsay Lohan had a baby. Megan Fox is batshit crazy. Drag shows in their underwear. Gender reaffirming. We're back now and getting louder. We were on hiatus and the liberals hate us. We're back now and getting louder. No, we didn't start it, but the fight goes on. Ray sued Fox News. White House had some rogue booze. No, wait, that was cocaine. We all know who is to blame. Zelensky slams NATO. RFK should clear his throat. Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, Justin Trudeau still a cunt. Tony Bennett, R.I.P., whistleblower on his knees. Snow White is a Mexican, a dude is Miss Netherlands. Air Force One has smaller stairs, Hunter in his underwear. Donald Trump might go to jail, Jim Caviezel based his hair. We're back now and getting louder. We were on hiatus and the liberals hate us. We're back now and getting louder. No, we didn't start it, but the fight goes on. We didn't start this fight, we don't want it. But if you want to fight, you better believe you've got one! I get it. You're going to say, oh, hack, we didn't start the fire. Yes to all. But if we don't do it, then some people get mad. And me.
A lot of people were asking for it. I was surprised.
I know. I think it's because they like to torture us. Question of the day here. Hey, what are you most excited to see from the new MugClub network? Comment below. And I tell you what, when we were doing that press conference and Alex Jones went into Alex Jones mode, I watched Brian Callen and Nick DiPaolo and I go, Oh, that's why he's Alex Jones.
Yes. There are levels to everything.
Yes. There are levels to this game. You can see in his head where he's like, I haven't yelled in a long time.
I knew when I saw that fist up, I was like, he's going to say something.
Yeah.
Dude. It's going to be awesome.
His voice didn't get like this from being calm.
Yeah. He's going to be on the show a little bit later on, by the way, to lead into his show. Yeah, really
it's great because in the reel you hear his old voice. You wonder where was the inflection point where that changed.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just 75 yelling matches later. Now we have Alex Jones.
Was he doing like a G. Gordon Liddy where he would hold his hand over a flame, only it was his throat? He's like, I don't flinch.
You were right. No, so hey, make sure Mug Club, if you have some chat questions for Alex, he's going to be on later in the show, and then when we go to Mug Club, we can ask some of those questions.
Yep.
Keep them nice.
I mean, sometimes I don't care. Not. So over the weekend, too, and we haven't even gotten to news yet. Sorry, we're 20 minutes in. I hope you're it's like there's so much. There's just a log jam, and then Alex Jones is like, get out of here. All right. So over the weekend, I haven't seen this clip because they told me not to watch it.
Okay.
Former factory worker Oliver Anthony took the internet by storm with this song, Rich Men North of Richmond.
I wish politicians look out for miners. Not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
And you know what? It only works because it's a fantastic song by a guy brimming with talent.
Yep.
Let it never be said that gingers have no souls.
Wait. We've said that.
Yes, I know. I regret
over
it.
and over.
I regret it. I regret it today. I stand corrected.
There's one. Say to the rich men that are north of Richmond, come on down south and see me this weekend. The 18th and 19th. Shameless plug.
That was a nice way to get a plug
That's right. Richmond, Virginia.
I'll be there with JP's. We'll have a great time.
Man, good for that guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's speaking truth. Why is it that country music is the only place that you can speak
No,
truth
it's not,
like
though.
this?
Most of them are phony. Most of them are phony sons of bitches in country music.
I'm just saying, but the audience wants it.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is outlaw country. In other words, this is real country.
Like
By the way,
bluegrass.
Nashville, just so you're clear, it's just like Hollywood, only with people who wear cowboy hats. And by the way, they wear
Vegas.
cowboy hats fake. It's fake. They're not cowboys.
Nope.
Guy like this is real. I hope this guy blows it up.
I think
They
that
will
song is
literally-
number one now on the charts.
On iTunes. Yeah,
I saw that, yeah.
They will write a fake backstory for country artists like they do for rappers.
Yeah, exactly.
Half the mean streets of Detroit have been shot 5 times. Okay, well, I grew up on a horse farm in North Carolina.
I like mustard
You're from
on my
Cleveland.
fries. And some guys in his car like, what? Well, that's country.
You guys heard Jason Aldean's song too?
Yeah.
No, but here's
Small
the thing.
town.
These are the kinds of things where we do comedy, we do entertainment, we do news, but we can get removed from YouTube. That right there could get removed from YouTube. That's the problem. YouTube,
Insane.
Facebook, Spotify, Apple, all of these things happen with Alex Jones first. That's why Mug Club is what we do. That's why this is a live show Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. You can watch it on Rumble. It's still going to be free the first hour of the show. But none of this happens, the free show, unless you sign up at loudwithcredit.com/mugclub. And we want to be able to support guys like, good for that guy. That guy is unbelievably
He could be removed
talented.
for being a ginger.
Yeah.
That could happen too.
It's always funny when the hair kind of runs away from the ginger, but the beard remains.
Yes.
Like your brother.
red.
Your brother's a great example.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a little. I mean, let's be honest, it's a little
red.
unsettling.
All red in the beard, and the head's a different.
I mean, what did he do? He hit
Everywhere else, too.
pedophilia there, Jeffrey Epstein Island,
He hits like
obesity.
this is the "We Didn't Start the Fire" version of a country song. He basically is hitting all these major cultural points that people are just out there thinking about and talking about daily, and he just nailed it.
And here's the thing, too. It's not just like people talk about Fox News, and you've heard us talk about Big Con. Like, when you talk about Jason Aldean's song, it's not just that it's that everyone at Viacom and CMT, they didn't realize. In other words, these people in charge of these networks, they see you as a walking wallet with teeth. Right? It requires someone like this to break through the noise independently. And it's not the artists, though sometimes it is. It's the people at the top. And then it's often artists who make their way to the top. This happens with comedians. This happens with singers. This happens with producers. I mean, is there any more conceited song that's ever existed than Faith Hill's Mississippi Girl? They might know me all around the world. Yeah, I'm sure they know about you in Ghana. Shut up. Pearl Harbor sucked.
Yeah. Big line dancing fans.
The movie or the
The movie and her song, I think she was using a clothesline in it. I don't know. All right.
It's a great soundtrack. How dare you?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to this. The TikTok right now. There's a psyop going on as it relates to marriage. Something that we all know about. We'll be discussing.
I didn't see this coming. I thought it was just the feminist angle.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. So let me. So at first you would just think it's a feminist angle, and let me know. You can comment below if you've seen this, and if you thought the country with one child policy. Yeah. They're behind it. They got no string. Well, it's like, whoa.
We didn't say Tim.
Everyone's a little bit trigger happy today.
A little jumpy.
So over the week, I need to set it up.
Okay.
This is the problem. It's not the conference, and I don't use prompter. I just usually point to him.
Wow, I was ready for it.
Over the weekend, there's this video that's been, showing the perils of marriage. And again, couldn't disagree with it more. Do not let yourself become bitter just because of one bad experience. But we do need to fix some things. So the perils of marriage, this video, it went viral on TikTok and Twitter to influence many young women wrongfully.
I can swear, I can joke. I see what's on my mind. If I drink, if I smoke.
So she sees her future?
With the guys and you see me holding up my middle finger.
She's dressed like Aladdin.
Your ribbons and your pearls. 'Cause I'm not just.
Wow, she really hates a clean house.
And children, apparently.
I'd hate to be her plumber.
Me too. I'm taking this off.
But she is now fabulously wealthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if she leaves. Let's have her put on the pass ring where she's in college listening to an Afro-lesbian professor talk about women's rights. Were you fulfilled there? Here's the one thing. Look, before we get to this is something I call the 99 and 99 rule, okay? It's over 40% of young men. Maybe Ginger Snap back there, you can get me these stats. It's like over 40% of young men out there who will never get married.
Yeah.
And I think it's 60% of women who say that there aren't men worth marrying because it's really cool to put up TikTok videos when you're 20. And then you realize, oh, hold on a second, it might have been nice to have children and, doing the dishes every now and then wouldn't have been too much to ask.
Ever?
Women's share, and Karen Strawn has been on the show. We should probably have her back. Their share of household duties has gone, it's never been lower, but they've also never been more unhappy. In other words, there's been a lie that's been fed to American women. And we'll get to how this lie is being fed now because the Communist Chinese Party is getting in on the action. But here's a big reason that men and women are missing each other, okay? And you can comment below. And it's been on my heart, obviously, a lot lately. Men haven't changed what they want in a woman, okay? That's why you see billionaires marrying waitresses. They don't care about your college degree. They don't care about your job. That's not what matters to a man. Man still wants the same thing that he's always wanted. He wants a nice woman to whom he's attracted to come home and be able to do, right? To feel safe, to have a safe haven. Nice matters more than money, right? Nurturing matters more than business success. Women have changed a lot of what they want from men. That has changed significantly, and a lot of men feel like they can't be mind readers, right? And you know that this is true because it's a stereotype that everyone jokes about when it's funny, right? If a woman says she's not mad, it means that you have to find out why. Okay, I call this the 99 and 99 rule. Right now, if you're watching and you are married, okay, woman, man. All right, let me ask you if you're a woman. You're married to a man. Okay, let's assume that he's the primary provider, right? One of a more traditional relationship. Doesn't mean he's the only provider. Does your husband, does he come home to you every night? If the answer is yes, okay. Does he protect you? Okay. If something goes bump in the night, does he answer or do you lock him in the bedroom? All right. Does he provide? Meaning, does he go to a job at all? Okay, we've just crossed a threshold, but I'm not going to tell you what. One more question. Does he ever listen to you complain about problems ever that don't affect him? Does he ever do anything nice for you, like send you flowers, even if only on your birthday? If the answer to those is yes, congratulations, you're with a man who's doing more than 99% of men who have ever lived. Ever lived. You think Genghis Khan was listening to you bitch about Tiffany? Nope. Okay. If he does those things, they were expected to provide and protect. Okay. Now on the flip side, you're a woman and you're married to a man. Let me ask you this. Do you cook for him? Do you cook every day? If the answer is no, you are now doing less than 99% of women who have ever lived from the beginning of time up until 1964. Doesn't mean that you have to. I understand that there's a division of labor now if you're both working, but men still want the same things. Let alone if we get to the idea of taking care of the house, of being supportive of him. Sometimes maybe people have to drop their priorities for their spouse. That's what happens. This is a very new idea. It's the 99 and 99 rule. You've changed what you want from men. And obviously this woman doesn't want any of the things that traditionally was seen as a wife doing. Doesn't mean a guy can't take out the trash. What I'm saying is this girl's going, look, you can have a Roomba. For crying out loud, Glade sells the shower cleaning thing.
They do.
Have you ever done laundry with a washboard? Do you have any idea what that would be like with a washboard? And you have to dustpan and sweep. There are no Swiffers, let alone a godforsaken wet jet. You're like, like it's Cinderella. You're using a ShamWow.
Well, I hate the part she's holding a kid and she's like, this is miserable. It's like, come on. Children are some of the most, their work. I understand that. My Saturday and Sunday were totally different. Saturday, very difficult. Very difficult. We have kids. They're very young. Sunday, fantastic. They loved us. They wanted to hug us. And it was great. It reminded us why we like them. It was fun. But it is the most joyful thing, and you're portraying it as a ball and chain that shackles you to wherever
I've never felt my heart swell up for anything in my life the way that it has for my children.
No, it's just this amazing
It's one of those
thing.
things. People say it, and Josh, probably same thing.
Yeah. I just put my kids in front of the iPad, though.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, she's holding it. What are you doing? Yeah, of course. Yeah, don't put the ring down. Put an iPad out.
Just put the location services on.
iPad solved.
Yeah.
Done.
It's 2023. Come on. Give that kid a TikTok already.
But again, it just doesn't take into account all the joy that's brought with it. And the truth is, women then reach their 30s or their 40s going, oh my gosh, this is not what I thought life was going to be. Like, yeah, well, because, you thought that running a broom was the equivalent to being a Uyghur in China. So...
Nice segue.
Oh, what?
Uyghur. It's a thing. Look it up.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I know what he's thinking. I know why he's laughing.
But
this isn't 1996,
the video,
Josh.
There's more to
Not
this.
a racist show.
The video,
Uyghur beaver? What is that?
Just leave it to Uyghur.
Write that down.
Oh, you know it. There's an intro.
Sketches are being written right now.
Eddie Haskell's
boy.
just a CCP spy trying to sell cigarettes. Oh, you only a pack of Palmer, Mr. Cleaver. All right.
What?
So the video was actually uploaded by a Chinese TikTok account. Now, to be clear, I have no problem with the Chinese. Just to be clear, especially like Ginger Snap back there. He loves the Chinese lady, Chinese people.
And food.
Because I love the Chinese people, I hate the Communist Chinese Party. So the Twitter user @GritCult noted that the video contained multiple products with Chinese writing. There's a shirt, there's cooking oil, and the woman in the video appears to be what they call a white monkey. Now, I know Josh is going, what? We're not talking about Congo.
I'm sorry.
Urban Dictionary defines us as a person who works in Asia, normally China, and whose qualification for the job is nothing more than being a Westerner and normally Caucasian. The Urban Dictionary also says not normally applied to black people. Well, surprise in China.
Yeah, they're known for being hospitable to every
Yes. Yeah. And going back to what I said before, the reason we have marriage laws in this country is because it's foundational, right? The only way that you have a self-governing society is if you have strong families. And that's why the Communist Chinese Party has been pushing an anti-marriage agenda and propaganda in the United States for a very long time while actively subsidizing marriage in China because their birth rates and their marriage rates are at record lows. So they want American marriages to no longer take place while they increase theirs because they understand that that does create a robust society. Now, of course, there should not be enforced or mandated marriage or relationships whatsoever. What I'm saying is that China understands as a political prescription they need to have strong families if they're going to have a strong society. So they drip, tell you, oh, marriage in America, miserable.
Yeah, isn't that crazy though?
Miserable, married man, have big belly, no longer sexual active.
Okay, this feels like a smear campaign right now.
Yes,
Steven. I don't appreciate it, to
absolutely.
be honest with you.
Yeah. Josh,
trying to be
I was talking about
a white monkey over
I was
here.
talking about the pregnant lady. You brought props.
I'm a white monkey. Yeah.
You and Ron Perlman.
Yeah, it has the benefit of making him yak. Yeah. He looks exactly like the gorilla from Congo. That is
Yeah, it's
not our
even-
fault, all right?
Yeah, he absolutely does.
And he's not black.
we were about
What I
to
was going to
say
say is that China understands that families are the foundation, the bedrock of a culture and society. And if you want to be successful, the family has to be strong. Isn't that strange? We've been saying that for a very, very, very long time. And we are actively working against ourselves by saying that they're not the foundation of our society. And we're destroying families right now. Women in China, by the way, are having kind of that same issue. 24 was the average age of marriage. Now it's 29. And they're doing everything they can. China they got rid of the one-child policy and they're like, we'll let you have 3.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody in China is probably going to have more than 2 or 3 kids. I understand that. But they're still in control. They're still putting
Do you think
their
that Chinese
finger on the
women are
lever.
berating them like, it's time for you to get off the shitter and commit already. Shitter, get off the pot.
Well,
I have no ring.
Exactly. They want them to marry earlier so they'll have more
I
kids.
want a rock. I want a diamond.
They're actually going to
I
shorten.
don't think so. I think they're too busy working.
Yes. I'll go find one in the mine. Go.
They're actually thinking about shortening the school year, or the overall education time in school for women so that they'll have kids I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. The Chinese party, they're very creative. I don't like.
Do they go down the tunnel of love
They're
in like folded paper swans?
Yeah.
They could just send their kids to my school. I had all kinds of pregnant girls in my school.
They're like, all right, you've been in school for 11 years. That's enough. You're done.
No. We're going to hand out sex education, right? The United States. They hand out condoms. They're just like it's like Swiss cheese. I don't know.
There he is.
I don't know.
Well, look, I know we.
Holes in condom make it go faster. Better pump. Better stroke volume. So, what are we about to say?
Alex is here and ready for us. I know we have him kind of earlier today, so
I thought we had him at.
We had him at 9:45.
I said to have him on.
I know. We may have to get to Alex
at 10,
and we may have to get to Alex in just a minute. Do you want to do this week combined and then?
Well, because we also have the exclusive.
We do.
Can you check and see if Alex can call us back in a little bit because we need to get to the MugClub exclusive.
We're running late, Alex.
This is stuff we're going to have to get used to, fellas. Just so you know.
I said, Alex, I love you, but I said 10 if you can. If not, then that's okay. But we do have an exclusive from MugClub Undercover, which is the first time we want to break. But before that,
he's like, okay, that's fine.
All right, okay. Thank you, Alex. We love you.
Thank you.
And then it's a stronger lead into your show. Hey, everyone, hit the like button or tell Alex Jones that you love him, that you're happy. And hey, by the way, I know that a lot of you are like, oh, Alex Jones, don't care.
I love you, Dad.
Don't care. Guess what? We're going to stand in the pocket for our friends.
Hell yeah.
And by the way, with Alex Jones, Nick DiPaolo, Hodge, once Nick DiPaolo's been on the road for years, he said, do you have any idea what they would find if I'd be done after the first open mic what I did in a green room, for God's sake.
I've had 3 Twitter accounts.
Unless you've murdered, raped, or pickpocketed, I don't care. Doesn't mean that you should lose your livelihood. I love the people we're associated with.
Pickpocketed?
Well, it's just a theft.
One of those is not like the other.
But it's a skill.
I would love to find out that a comedian in our community was a pickpocket.
That'd be great.
That'd be fantastic.
That was his. That
He'd
was
be
his
the coolest comedian.
Oh, you don't remember that club manager in Louisville who was like, extra, extra, read all about it. I'm like, a newspaper. What happened to my pocket watch?
Not stealing jokes, actual items.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. My bad.
You carry a pocket watch?
Yeah. Who does? I use it to test.
What is this, Bleecker Street?
Yeah. He also wears a monocle. So
He's gonna go get his hair cut.
So
he's Mr. Planter's peanut over here.
All right, we'll move on here. Last week, Joe Biden traveled to Arizona. And we have This Week in Biden often, but this is just one that we absolutely had to address. He was announcing a new Grand Canyon monument. And, of course, he said just not some stupid things, but things that I didn't fully understand the first time I watched it until I realized how nonsensical they were. So that brings us to our newest edition of this last month, but This Week in Biden.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black, the Grand Canyon, one of the Earth's 9 wonders of the world. Literally. Think of that. It's amazing. She walked up and she said, Mr. President, would you take care of Bear's ears for me? And I didn't know what she meant when she said it. Would you take care of Bear's ears for me? Well, we took care of her and we gave her the signing pen. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black.
Did that man just say Bear's ear? Well, who reminds me of that old classic from Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Taking care of Bear's ears every day. Taking care of Bear's ears every way. Woo!
Well, they were Canadian.
I love it.
They have grizzlies up there.
What a stupid person in a silly country that man is president.
It's our fault.
Why
Not really.
Why are they building a monument to a monument?
I don't even know what he's saying.
That's a fair point, Josh.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Oh, this Grand Canyon, no one's going to come see it. We better build a statue or something.
Exactly.
Put a sign up that says "Big Hole."
Yes.
What?
Wow.
Know what I read today?
That's like putting party hats at Easter Island. Like,
Oh, we now serve beer.
Taco Tuesday.
You got those.
It's a beer pedal bus. There you go.
The bikes.
Let me teach you about the Druids. What were you saying?
How many weeks of vacation would you guess for Joe Biden in 2.5 years?
Oh, I know this number's high.
I got 4 days, which I was really happy with. We had a great time on the lake.
Yeah.
Good. What did he get? 2.5 years. Gosh, you're probably going nuts in the chat. My guess is 9 weeks. 9.5 weeks.
What are your thoughts, Gerald?
It's 104 weeks. Gerald! I don't know, like 30? I think he's had some really giant number of
40 weeks.
Wow.
40 weeks of vacation?
Wow.
40 weeks of
pregnancy,
vacation.
That's almost public school teacher.
In 2.5 years.
Sorry, I mean the true heroes.
True heroes.
He really pulls a schedule, that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's working from Camp David.
Wow.
I don't know. All right. So this is something else here. We've talked about and this is where we get to something exclusive here. And by the way, none of this happens if you don't sign up at louderwithcredit.com/MugClub. You get the wonderful hand-etched girthy mug. We have an announcement regarding the changing of the mug. Obviously, is now the network the umbrella has grown so large, so you're only going to be able to get this OG for so long. But this investigative journalism that we do, it's one of those things where sometimes you may not realize it's entirely funded by you. Not a lot of people want to do journalism these days. They want clickbait. So we're pretty proud of some of the work that's been put in. We've talked about DEI, the diversity, equity, inclusion, right, taking over industries from airlines to education. Now, unfortunately, it's found its way to hospitals. So remember that when you hear about the speed of science or you hear about trusting the science.
Right, yeah.
We have new exclusive insider details that paint, I don't want to say, there's a grim picture that you need to see here as it relates to the state of children's health care. This is MugClub Undercover.
Our eyes and ears are everywhere. We are many. We are among you. We are MugClub Undercover.
You can't do that without an NDA, though.
That's right. Oh, that's fair. I should have.
Everyone should know about everyone who's undercover. So,
idiotic people.
Following scandal.
Oh no!
Scandal.
But I have to sign everywhere. Jerks. Twitter. It's gonna happen.
You can follow Gerald on Twitter. So there's been an increase, right, in the emphasis on the DEI. Every time I said diversity, equity, but you understand. We've talked about it. Less emphasis at the same time on expert opinions. Right. So the Cincinnati Children's Hospital, I'll call it the CCH moving forward, Cincinnati Children's Hospital. It's now been ranked #1 by U.S. News and World Reports. Okay. Now, here's the thing. That's now ranked #1. Thanks to an insider at the hospital, the MugClub Investigation Unit Undercover has some exclusive details. There was an internal email that we obtained, and it was written by the CCH's Chair of Pediatrics, Tina L. Chang, MD. So here's Dr. Chang congratulating her staff via email, and it tells you why this is happening. This year, the U.S. News World Reports, increased the weight of commitment to best practices and commitment to, you can bring it up there as an overlay, and commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion, and less weight on expert opinion. Now, she says that like it's a good thing.
I'd like a second opinion.
But then it won't be weighted. Second opinion? Yeah. Because we got a black guy. Our #1 ranking recognized our dedication to, quote, changing the outcome together. Now, we're going to get to the transgender procedures for children and how that is included here, because that's a big part of DEI, just to be clear. DEI basically includes anything that's evil, progressive for progressive's sake. So as per the U.S. News World Reports, right, their methodology, expert opinion is obtained by a survey of reputable physicians. This is another component that's important. Well, what defines reputable? Page 8 of the document. Until 2007, the pediatric rankings relied entirely on reputational surveys of board-certified pediatricians and adolescent medicine specialists. Continuing to rank children's hospitals solely on expert opinion for an indeterminate period while performance data were codified and the means of collecting and verifying them settled was felt to be unacceptable. What that really means is, so we were doing this based on actual expert opinions out in the field. And now we've decided that really isn't the best way to determine how we should be taking care of children. Ergo, it's not the best way to determine the best children's hospital.
Right.
So, and you can comment below if you see where this is going, because there's a lot more to this that, frankly, surprised a lot of us and smashed the rumble button. You're about to say something?
I was about to say, because when my child is hurt, again, I have 2 very young children, I want to make sure that we are being inclusive at the hospital. I just want the best outcome. I don't care if it's all men, all women, all black lesbian women, all black lesbian men. If that's even possible, I have no idea. It's probably a thing next week.
It's all possible.
I don't care. I just want them to work and fix my son.
Here's the thing. So the weight of DEI jumped up by over 16%, and the weight of expert opinion, according to their methodology, all references available at louderwithcredit.com, dropped by 13. So up 16 and down 13.
Wow.
That's significant.
Think about that for a second. In other words, What matters more now is the diversity, is the snapshot, the Burger King Kids Club picture that you put out there. Look, we got a black, we got a ginger, we got a lesbian, we got a trans. Doesn't that make us the best hospital? No. How about your mortality rates? Here's something else. The Cincinnati Children's Hospital, they've even created a trans health center.
Oh, Lord.
And the people who have been at the center of, I guess the founders of this health center, this is bone-chillingly scary. Again, this is the MugClub Undercover. The work that they put in, all of our references are available. LiveWithCutter.com, link in the description, because some of this is not publicly available. It's exclusive to us.
Right.
The Trans Health Center is, quote, funded by love and generous donations from Chris and Jessica Kitchinelli. So, who are the Kitchinellis? Well, these are the biggest donors, right?
Biggest donors.
The Trans Health. They also happen to be owners of the Pure Romance sex toys.
I've never been to that website for sure.
He was brought into Pure Romance by his mother, who founded the business in 1983. So they sell sex toys. What's more kid-friendly than these fine products? Let's bring this up. Yeah. I think that's about him. I think we have overlay F2 and F3.
Oh.
Yeah. There's lube.
Oh, that's jelly. That's jelly. Put it with peanut butter.
Like a virgin.
Oh, geez.
Wow,
okay.
God.
And these people are also founders of the Living with Change Foundation, which supports trans children. And, of course, their own child came out as trans at 8 years old. So you now have a hospital being rated as the best children's hospital in the country by their own admission, this private email that we have now circulated, not because of their outcomes, not because of them looking out for the best interest of your children. As a matter of fact, if they're starting a trans health center, they may be actually actively harming your children based on the data that we have available. But because they're diverse enough and some people who own a sex shop are willing to front some money to ensure that your children have the same kind of transitional treatment that their 8-year-old child did. By the way, we have exclusive footage from the press conference that was held at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
Welcome, cold-handed ones. It's an honor to greet/welcome so many who have touched so many women in such a powerful way. Come on in. Watch out, it's a little slippery. And if you think it's hot out there, whoa, come on, come on, come on.
I don't know what I expected.
We had some time on our hands.
Those are some good-looking legs. They get their own health center, the Trans Health Center. They can't get their own bathrooms?
Yeah, children's.
Yes. Do they what?
They can't get their own bathrooms,
No.
No. Yeah.
Get their own health center?
Well, that's Cincinnati. We can't do that.
They have their own bathrooms. They're just going to pick whatever.
Yeah, in Cincinnati, their biggest concern should be the fathers not being there in the hospital.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
they should.
Yes. Well, also, you have Cincinnati. I think they have a good zoo. I remember that.
Oh.
The Cincinnati Zoo is really good. They have a water park.
It's at the hospital.
Where it's like a water drive-in.
That is neat.
Where you sit in a tube and you watch a drive-in film. That's all I remember about Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
I've been down there a couple of times. It's the worst place to go in Ohio.
Yes.
America's 32nd best state.
And they have Cleveland.
Yes, that's true.
And a river that caught fire.
Were you about to say something there, Joe?
I can't believe that. You know how people are
Take
making
that out of your lexicon. You can believe.
I can believe. All right. I am shocked yet not surprised. People that are funding a children's hospital are sex shop owners. We could not have written it that way and people believed us. They would have been like, no, that's kind of... Look, I understand that you're saying that this is like a pedophile movement and everything like that, but I'm like,
You
They own a sex toy store.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. It's like when a doctor writes a prescription, they go, and you can also go to the pharmacy and get these whatever probiotics.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen? Like, by the way, when you have the sex change operation, you can also go to Pure Romance and get the his and her heating gel. Let me write this down here so you know where to find
Sir,
it.
And if you ever miss
She's
your
8.
dick, you can go get a strap on.
Yeah, exactly.
Pure Romance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like the real thing. You'll never even be able to tell it's not there.
You should just take a rubber clown's nose to make a kid laugh.
That was something else. I won't say it.
Where did you put the clown nose?
Can I touch the knob? It squeaks.
All right, now I'm ready. Do we have him ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. You guys can comment below, and again, check the references. Thank you so much to help with the support here at MugClub. MugClub Undercover does not happen without you. And we never would have been able to help re-platform the next gentleman. You can watch him, of course, on MugClub on Fridays, but you can also watch him on MadMaxWorld.tv or watch his live stream, I believe, on Rumble now, as he's going to be using that quite a bit more. It's time to bring on the man himself, the supernova, the white whale, Alex Jones. Mr. Jones, can you see and hear me, sir?
It's good to be here. Very exciting. A lot of people We're very, very excited and are excited about the big announcement last Tuesday. We're getting a great response with folks going over to jonescrowder.com. And I'm not just going to launch this new multi-hour show on Fridays. Very soon, we're going to start guest analysis, PowerPoints, you name it. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. This is
Oh, Alex, MadMaxWorld.tv at 12, I believe, noon Eastern. What's on your radar? What are you going to be talking about here today? What do you think people most need to know about?
Well, I'm going to shoot it on Wednesday and maybe even Thursday. I've got special guests coming in just for the Friday show, the maiden voyage with your great operation. And it's going to be the deep dive on Bill Gates and who funds him, who controls him, State Street and BlackRock that have 88% of the public companies in the world they have a controlling interest in. So people ask, what is the New World Order? Who's controlling the agenda? Who's pushing transgenderism and open borders and the end of the family and war? It is State Street and it is BlackRock. Both of them together have over 15 trillion under management. So I'm talking about that on my show today. I'm going to be talking about the captured children. Just like when the Romans would sack areas of Germany or France thousands of years ago, they would then parade the spoils that they had captured in parades into Rome. We have footage of the, quote, gay pride parade in Austin this weekend with hundreds and hundreds of little children being paraded like captives at the front, naked men dancing around, stuff like you see in San Francisco. This is a sick, evil cult. We're going to be covering that. We're going to be covering the fourth imminent indictment of Trump out of Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to be hitting just a massive amount of critical information. Also, all over.
I was going to ask you about the indictment because this is something that we have in common and with President Donald Trump. Obviously we've been the target of a smear campaign lately. We were talking about this, and you were as well, where it wasn't happenstance that you were deplatformed all in the same day. People out there don't necessarily know the reason that they've impeached Donald Trump twice, right? And they create these new indictments is so that they can then use it when they say, well, look, twice impeached and X times indicted former President Donald Trump, and you say, well, hold on a second. That's because you made that up. That's because you trumped up those charges, right? That's what happened with you. They create a scenario that then they accuse you of doing. Well, Alex Jones, you did this. You go, well, hold on a second. That's actually not what I did. That's actually not what I said. And they use that, particularly if they can sit you in court and ask you about something that never happened. I think people need to understand they want you to view this as he must have done something wrong to be impeached twice or to be indicted however many times by the time we get to an election, or it is fabricated from the ground up in order to make you think that way. And that's something that you've been through, and we've run into this too. I think it's important. A lot of people just don't think that happens.
Well, that's right. They've had New York Times articles where former employees say that I came in their office and grabbed a goldfish out of the tank and ate it. There's never been fish here. We'll all sign affidavits. I love fish. I've got fish at home. I've got a saltwater tank that I've had for 10 years and love. But that's from Wolf of Wall Street. So they make up something so crazy that it must be true, and then that's what they put out there.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. And then they sit you down and they go, Mr. Jones, in court, they go, is it not true that you ate a goldfish? You go, no, well, the New York Times reported, and now the only legitimacy they have are the people they work with who they send out to create a hit. And that's one thing I do think is happening with Donald Trump. And you know what? I think that at a certain, I know we've talked about this where I think there's some baggage. I think a lot of people out there, the reason you're seeing the polls change is because people are going, screw you, I see what's happening. Gerald, did you have something you wanted to jump in on?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, Alex. I think they can't beat you on your message. Right. And so what they've done is they've tried to distract you. This is almost like the political kind of campaign strategy. We just have to knock you off of the message so much that you can't talk about it. And then they're trying to bankrupt you. Right. Same thing that they're doing with Donald Trump. They're trying to distract him by all these the impeachment stuff obviously was part of it. The Russia was part of it when he was in office. And now they're doing the same thing and trying to make him spend so much money and time fighting these things that he can't campaign effectively. Well, doesn't seem like it's working. Doesn't seem like it's working with you either.
Well, as long as we don't give up, we're going to win. I mean, we had a 6-year war with the most powerful empire the world had ever seen that started in 1776. George Washington lost 95% of the battles. He lost battles for 5.5 years, and then he won at the end via perseverance. And so this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. It's going to be the turtle, not the hare, that wins it. And as long as we have fun and warn people and tell the truth, the globalists are losing power, populism and free humanity and the Christian resurgence is gaining power. That's why they're in full panic mode, trying to accelerate their entire agenda just to overwhelm us. But as long as we don't get overwhelmed, as long as we don't get violent, we are winning the culture war. The globalists own documents admit it. You see it everywhere. You see the numbers. People are asking why Vivek Ramaswamy is so popular, now above DeSantis. If you tune into what he says, it sounds like a cross between Steven Crowder and Alex Jones. I mean, he's talking BlackRock, New World Order, globalists, pushing poison shots on us. He's talking about 1984 and the answer being 1776. And that's extremely popular because we are the mainstream. What America was built on, what it stands for is the Renaissance. We are the best system. We're not trying to go back to what America was. America was the vanguard. America is the cutting edge. And there is a powerful corporate revolution to buy up all the companies and set up these ESGs and social credit scores to force us to follow their edicts. But as humanity becomes aware of it, of the censorship and the surveillance and the debanking and the control that you guys just went through last week, became a huge story when Nigel Farage got debanked. You guys got debanked last week for bringing me on, but you had backups. This is a war, but we're not victims when this happens. We just keep getting stronger and stronger. As Nietzsche said, that which does not kill me only makes me stronger as long as we have the support. But listeners, you keep hammering it. It's so true, Stephen. It's so true, Gerald. If listeners and viewers don't understand that they literally are the brains, the eyes, the muscle, the guts, the bones, the will of this operation and other independent media operations, but this is the biggest and best there is, then we're going to lose. But if people get excited and realize this is an arm wrestling match with the New World Order and they put their will behind it, we will slam their fist through the table.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I really do appreciate, too, obviously, your zeal. And you know what? What bothers me is when you don't have enough conservatives out there doing that. In other words, this idea of they said they would kill me last, we have to stop. When people like Vivek, right, the kind of things that he's saying, or this country song we just talked about, this Virginian man, these are things that most mainstream Americans agree with, but would never be permissible on YouTube. And so, or on Facebook, or on Twitter. We have a lot of people now who've had their stuff removed from Twitter, banned accounts from people who work here, which has been surprising. When conservatives aren't echoing what people who are watching and listening right now, when they're not doing that, then that's when, if we allow that to be the baseline, if we accept that as a new normal, that's when we lose. And that's a big reason why we're so excited to have you here and Nick. I mean, you just look, it's a who's who of people who just don't give a rat's ass anymore. And for people to sign up and get your mug, it's at it's jonescrowder.com. Is that your landing page there, Alex?
Absolutely. When people go to jonescrowder.com, then we get the lion's share of the funding. You guys get a small amount to help fund your operation. And hell, I've even talking about trying to do a bigger percentage deal so we can have you guys build up your infrastructure for what I'm doing. But I intend to take that money then and actually hire a couple extra crew members because I hit a second wind at about 8 or 9 at night. I do my show till 2 p.m. every day, then cut ads, deal with business stuff, court stuff, family stuff. Then I go home, eat dinner at about 5, 6 o'clock, put my 6-year-old daughter to bed at about 8:30. I hit a second wind, usually watch a Netflix movie or, play pool with my wife. But I really usually want to get back on air then. So I'll let listeners know what my plan is. But I'm not a super technical guy. I've built a little studio in my house. I need another little shift that shows up at my house at like 9 o'clock at night. And most nights, I'm talking about 7 days a week.
Alex, what you need is sleep, though. I don't want you to burn out, Alex.
I'm going to do another show. Well, whenever I feel like it. I'm going to do another. So we got to get all that hooked up so I can dial in live, but also have, a couple crew members there so they can then put clips out and stuff. So I intend, because my enemies want to silence me, to now do even more broadcasts, more events, and just absolutely give them everything I got.
Yeah, well, and we're excited, but I do want you, look, Alex, I want you to pace yourself because you're important and we need you out there. And just to be clear, everyone out there, I did not ask Alex to say these things or ask him to do a nighttime show. I would never ask that. I would rather he be sleeping. But this is a guy who, what you see is what you get with Alex. That's one thing I will say. For all the attacks out there, what they try and do is steal your name. And people who try to go out there, and Alex is going to get him, like he'll often give me compliments and I get sort of uncomfortable. Alex won't say this. The attacks that were out there in the media, the one that was potential, it would have been the most damaging if people bought it, was when they tried to say, oh, he said in court that it was all performance, that it was all an act. No. That's not true. What they said is not every statement, if it's allegorical, is meant to be taken literally. Unmute the microphones here before we go to Mug Club. Gerald, Pops Crowder, Yakuza, Toolman Tim. Is Alex exactly what you expect him to be in person?
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Yes.
What you see is what you get. That's one thing I love about him. I've never seen anyone more authentic. JonesCrowder.com. We are going to go to Mug Club and continue, Alex, right now for another few minutes. If you are watching on YouTube or on Rumble, sign up at loudcrowder.com/Mug Club. We will be taking your chats. YouTube, thank you, but not Rumble, thank you. YouTube, piss off.